eternity is what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn. You gotta keep on living till the fight is gone.
And then every player on the ice has a 10-minute misconduct.
Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of 10-Minute Misconduct. We have Justin Schmit joining us tonight, and we have our regular hosts, Sam and Aaron. How's everyone doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
I'm doing great. How's everyone doing?
Everybody's
All right.
good.
All right, Justin, thank you so much. I've been so pumped to have you on. I'm a big fan of yours. So let's get started and tell us, how are things going this season?
Pretty good. I mean, I got traded up to Watertown thinking, going to a small market, it was going to be, because I came from Columbus, Huntsville, Tulsa, big Winston-Salem, big markets. And I came up here where it's a small market, very personable. The fans have a lot of access to us, which can be a bit of a pain in the ass at times. But I really enjoy the community here. Ownership group's great. We have a pretty solid room. We're struggling a little bit, but you can see we're knocking on the doorstep, right? Like you can see with the talent we have, there's no reason we can't make a serious run in the last half of the season.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You want to get us started, Sam?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. So I see you shoot left-handed. A question out of curiosity, does that mean you have your hand up near the knob of the stick or near the blade of the stick when you shoot left-handed?
My left's down on the down the shaft, which thank God actually, because I had a fight. I had two fights a couple weeks ago, and I tore my arm all to hell, and we've had to kind of contrive something to keep my shooting, my top hand kind of in place. So thank God I do shoot left. Or I probably would have had to learn how to shoot right, but
Do like a complete flip-flop?
which actually a funny story before I forget. So 2 years ago, Dustin Henning, I know you guys know Henner. He's my best friend in the whole world. I couldn't ask for a better friend. And we were playing in Port Huron when I was with Columbus, and we were down. It was a Sunday, and we were down 7-3, 5 minutes left in the third, and we were on the power play. And Jerome threw me out on the power play on the back end, and it was closest to Port Huron's bench, and we kept winning faceoffs back. And I kept taking slap shots, and they just kept wiring up into the stands everywhere. And about the third time, Henner calls me over. Nobody else heard it. And Henner goes, Schmitty, maybe you're actually just a right-handed shot.
You gotta change the game up after all these years of playing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm ambidextrous. I suck both ways.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of talk lately about life in the Fed, and you've been pretty open and pretty honest with your feelings on these, to quote you, these keyboard warriors who want to talk about how horrible life is in the Fed. So I'm interested to know, in your eyes, what is life in the Fed to you?
You know what? I've been blessed. I've been very blessed to play with very good organizations in this league. Like I played in Columbus, which is kind of the benchmark of the league with Jeff Krupp being the owner and Jerome Bouchard, and like our living situation was great and everything was good. I went to Elmira, and it was kind of a startup organization. Things weren't perfect, but they were a work in progress. And
Absolutely.
Things obviously didn't work out with the ownership last year, which is unfortunate. I went to Baton Rouge, and there was definitely a lot of problems there that I don't particularly want to get into. But I made the decision, and thank God, when Paul McLean was still the coach there, I said, Paul, can you do me a solid and send me to the Northern Division? I want to go to Watertown with Charlie Pens and Dustin Henning, who's no longer here, obviously, but I want to go up to Watertown. You know what? This is the life I always dreamed of. I mean, I'm 40 years old. I got a roof over my head. I get to play hockey every night. I get to I get to eat, sleep, and breathe the game. There's always food on my table. I would never. I don't know anything different. I mean, I played at a lot higher levels where maybe we ate a little better, we travel a little better, but at the end of the day, the hockey's hockey. I think there's the this younger generation of players thinks that it's going to be the same as living at their mom and daddy's house, and it's not. You kind of got to look after yourself a little bit, and fend for yourself. But as far,
Absolutely.
as far as being mistreated, or being lied to, I never have been. I mean, guys complain about their shitty situation and they've been lied to, and it's like, at the end of the day, it sucks to suck, man. If you're a shit player, you're probably not going to make it.
I think that's pretty fair. Definitely a
Yeah,
fair
no,
observation.
I think that's super fair. And with that being said, there are some players that are on YouTube, that have definitely had some things to say about the Fed that did not even make the cut to play in the Fed. So, what advice would you have for them?
Don't suck.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, don't make a spectacle. Don't make a spectacle of something you're not capable of doing. It's like that would be like me. That would be like me being pissed off that I'm not a great brain surgeon, and I keep having patients die on my table, and it sure sucks that the medical profession doesn't approve of me being a brain surgeon. Like, especially when it comes to goalies, like, stop the puck. Being a goalie is the hardest job in the world and the easiest job in the world. All you have to do is stop pucks. Yeah, it sucks, but at the end of the day, all you got to do is stop pucks. It's like being a tough guy. All you got to do is be a. You don't even have to be the toughest guy in the world. Like, I lose as many fights as I win, but I'm always there for my teammates. I'm always there for the community stuff, and like, being involved in the community. You get all these kids that come out of junior, and they just expect the moon handed to them, but they're not involved in the community. They hate signing autographs. Like, signing autographs is the greatest honor I've ever had bestowed upon me.
We
It's
had
so
a
wonderful of you to think of like that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell you from a fan's point of view, your outlook is like everything that fans enjoy about a hockey player. Being involved with the community, the fans, loving that you want to spend the time to give your autograph after a game. So from the fans, I can tell you we appreciate that. But we had a funny comment from Mike. He said Schmit isn't in the bathtub.
Oh, shoot! So yeah, the tub talk thing was funny. It kind of took off. It took a mind of its own about 10 years ago. I was getting ready for an MMA fight, and I was cutting weight, and I did a podcast or a live from the bathtub, and then it just spiraled from there, and then it turned into tub talk. where I'd get political and I'd get a little crazy from time to time, but it served its purpose, and I guess it was what it was. Yeah.
So you actually mentioned MMA. That it kind of actually brings up the Ice Force too, where you actually competed in the tournament and stuff, and you won. Congratulations. Uh, you were supposed to fight for Ice Force 3. What happened there?
We won't go. We can't go. Can't really go down that rabbit hole right now.
Okay.
Just there's too much legal stuff surrounding all that stuff, and AJ Galante and Dan Amesbury are two of the best friends I'll ever have, and we worked on a lot of things, and we created something, and we were pushed aside by another marketing firm, and we just decided to go in a different direction. So I can't even actually use that handle on in any sort of media. So yeah, we'll stay away from that.
Wow.
I was fortunate enough to compete on that event and win, and it was excellent. But yeah, I can't dive too deep into that one, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
So on the topic of fighting, we had a really great fan question that really got me thinking as well. Who would you like to scrap with that you have not yet been able to scrap with?
Jeez, I think I've probably in this league I've in this league I've probably kind of cleaned out this league. In other leagues, I unfortunately I've never been able to compete in Quebec. Derek Parker's my best friend, one of my best friends in the whole world. It's always been kind of like who's tougher. I
Yeah.
talk to him every day. He's bigger, he's got more experience. I think I'm a little wilier, a little bit more wild, but probably the one guy that I would give my everything to be able to compete against in a hand-to-hand combat fight on the ice would be Derek Parker.
All right. That sounds pretty fair. Do you
Yeah.
think you'd win? Do you think you could take him, or do you think you'd
I
you
know
think
I'd
well good.
win.
I guess that's how you're supposed to go into every fight, but
Yeah, I've never, to be honest with you guys, I've always, every fight I've ever gone into, I've gone in knowing I was gonna win. Probably two times in my career, I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this. And it was against Brett Angel in the Central League. He was in Shreveport and I was in Tulsa. And then actually Jason Bone, we were in the Southern League, and he was in Jacksonville, and he had RIP 21 shaved in the side of his head, and he was, in like the O Canada. And I was like, well, fuck, I got to do it. And I went out. We had a pretty good scrap, and then we played him again in the playoffs, and I had another good scrap against Boner too. And then we ended up becoming really, really, really close friends. And he's actually a school teacher now in Winnipeg, and we talk about, we do, because I do a lot of anti-bullying charity work and stuff, so we collaborate on a lot of stuff like that. So it's kind of, it always comes full circle. Like there's never any animosity like between
oh, of
actual
course.
fighters. There's zero animosity amongst us.
So speaking of fighters, one of your most recent fights when you played Motor City, I'm sure you know where I'm going with this already, but the tarpless fight, can you talk about that? And I know that there was some hate online, and I want to give my opinion first, if that's okay. Of just, I don't
Sure.
think people understand what goes in to fighting on skates alone, but then when you remove pads and tarps and just nothing to even be able to hold on to support yourself to even land a punch, it's got to be so incredibly difficult.
But what? So how it all transpired? We went because like Elias and I have gone. He's a kid. He reminds me so much of myself coming up. Just wanting to fight the best guys he could to make a name for himself. So every opportunity he got to fight me, he'd go me. So we went once, and I didn't realize all the damage that had been done to my shoulder, but we fought, and then after the period was over, I said, "Kid, I want to go you again, but I can't let any you grab me. Like my shoulder's gone. Can we go tarps off? We're both boxers. Can we go tarps off and have a boxing match? It's gonna be good, Can we go tarps off?" So we took our top stuff off, and what it took out of us to actually to like fight on quarter-inch pieces of steel and box at center ice. And he dropped me with one, and I fell on my ass and then fell forward and then got up and went again. And like all and I don't really try to get into like reading into the internet stuff, but I was like, man, this one kind of went viral. So I started reading
Yeah,
all these assholes saying like, these guys are a joke or whatever, but they'll never know how hard those punches were hitting and what it actually took to be able to do that. Like, that's like it's something you'll you'll only see once in a lifetime, and for people to criticize what they saw is mind blowing, because you'll never see two tough guys square off, jerseys off, with nothing to grab onto.
for
I've never
sure.
I've never seen it, and I don't think you'll ever see it again.
Right. Yeah, I've never seen it. And when the internet blew up, I mean, immediately everybody's like, turn on the Watertown game, turn on the game, turn on the game. And I'm watching it, and I was just like, holy shit. I can't believe it was awesome. I can't even believe a fan wouldn't be happy for just even the entertainment factor of it alone, you know?
And just for what we went through, like it was difficult.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Elias is such a good kid, like he really truly is. Like he has a big heart, and his teammates love him, and like he lived with Ian White, who's one of my best friends in the whole world. I don't know if he's been on your guys' show, but Ian
Yeah.
White's, one of my people, and so it's such a close knit group, and for him and I to be able to do that in front of 2,500 people with no shirts on. My God, I got one shoulder, and we're boxing at center ice. It was one of the hardest things. It probably shaved off more lives. If I were a cat, it probably shaved off like 5 or 6 lives of my cat life.
I think a lot of the people talking crap too are the same people that just need a reason to complain about everything. So you could have done everything perfect exactly the
or
way they wanted it,
or
and they would have
just
said the same shit.
or just to talk about. That's
Yeah.
why I want to start a reality show where like you like
Yeah.
confront like the keyboard warrior and be like, hey, remember that time you made fun of me? And like,
Got the printout right here. Be like, would you
yeah,
like to talk about that
Absolutely.
now?
do you want to go over this like with me?
No, if they were in your face, they'd be asking you for free sticks and autographs. What are you talking about,
Mm-hmm.
Schmitty?
Or
They'd be
Exactly.
okay,
the ones asking for everything.
speaking of free sticks and autographs, you guys, I got to tell you guys a funny story.
Oh, please
So
do.
it just reminded me. So we're in Columbus, and Anna, obviously, you remember the Columbus days, how many like crazy fans there were.
Oh yeah.
So me and Whitey we were warming up Port Huron or whoever. We're just warming up on the ice, and this crazy, like, he was a kind of a crazy fella, and he goes, "Hey, Whitey, give me a puck. Give me a puck. I want a puck." And Whitey's like, you have a puck." And he's like, "No, I want one of yours." And Whitey's like, "Leave me alone, man." So during the game, Whitey and I we were playing D together, and I wired and like there's 7,000 people in Columbus that night. And I wired a slap shot, and it hit a stick and went up in the stands. And I was pissed off because I shot it out of the ring, and it was at a TV timeout, and I'm pissed off, and I'm like, fuck. And Whitey's like doubled over, pissing his pants, laughing, and I'm like, "What's up, Whitey? Like, Whitey, it's not funny." And he's like, "You hit that guy." And I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "The guy that wanted the puck." And I look up,
Oh
and
my good God.
Oh man, I hope
Just
he's
sitting there.
watching.
Oh man.
Well, he got his puck.
got his puck. Yeah, he probably got a broken too.
Be absolutely
Karma.
funny if it actually hit him and bounced off and some other fan caught it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was funny for sure. Yeah, the stories I could tell you about me and Whitey. I wish I'll tell you guys one more. Whitey's gonna hate me for telling you guys this one.
Let's hear it.
All right, Ian, turn the podcast off if you're listening.
Yeah.
Because this one's like we might like this one's like not really common knowledge, but so there was a bar called Lance's right across the street from me and Whitey's house. So me and Whitey lived together, and Whitey had he dyed his hair blonde, shaved his arms, and we'd always go to this bar and sing karaoke together. And Whitey was sober. Whitey didn't drink at the time, and I was still on the bottle pretty hard. And we'd always go sing karaoke. And one night, I mean, massive man, like this guy was like 6'8", 300 pounds, big beard, leather, like wife beater on kind of thing. And he goes, "Hey, mind if I sit with y'all?" I'm like, "No shit, no problem, man." So he sits down, and he's sitting on one side of this bar stool. Whitey's in the middle, and I'm on the other side. And he goes, "How long y'all been partners for?" And I'm thinking, I'm drunk, and I'm thinking he's talking about D partners. And I'm like,
Kinda.
and I'm like, like off and on for like 20 years. And he, "Oh, no shit, man. You ever think about bringing another one in?" And me still thinking that he's thinking hockey. He's thinking he can be a hockey player. And I go, "Well, like we're actually professional." And like poor Whitey's eyes are like as dinner plate, right? And this Whitey goes, "This guy's rubbing Schmitty, this guy's rubbing my leg." Whitey goes, Whitey goes, Whitey goes, "Do you think we're gay?" And he goes, well, you said y'all were partners. And he goes, "Oh, we're talking about hockey." And I'm like, no. I'm like, he's just being shy. We're like, yeah, we're totally ready to bring you in. And Whitey was so embarrassed. He left and ran home.
Y'all were playing with different kind of sticks that night.
It was
Oh, my cheeks hurt. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh gosh.
But he's gonna hate to hear me tell you that story.
Well, shout out to you, Whitey. We miss you, buddy.
Oh
The
man,
best partner Schmitty ever had.
Sure.
I miss him so much. He's done now.
He is close.
No.
Oh, you said he's done now with hockey?
Whitey's done, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I got some
Hello.
How are you?
company just showed up. Say hi.
Is that Ashley?
It is.
Hi, Ashley. Well, wow, what a surprise. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So, for all the viewers that are viewing that just jumped in or don't recognize the face, this is Ashley Scanlon. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi.
Holy twisted tea.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I met her last year.
okay.
She had messaged me like about stuff.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking hockey right now.
All right, I'm ready. Let's go. You guys talk hockey.
So
We'll have
kind
to
of
have
the
her back
whole
on for her own episode.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
Let us know, Ashley. We're
Oh, Smitty's my buddy. I am
Yeah.
not about anything. You should know
You're what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
that I'm not afraid to talk about anything.
no, that's for sure.
Yep, and we can in the future for sure. But so Schmidt, to keep things moving, can you tell me about your top 5 favorite guys you played with?
Top 5 favorite teammates?
Yeah.
Dan Buchella. I played with Dan in Huntsville my rookie season. He actually passed away from cancer. His jersey's retired in Pensacola.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Mike DeGurse was obviously he was my captain in Huntsville. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. Dustin Henning was my captain up until last week. He's someone I'll obviously
You love his ass.
he's someone I'll never be able to replace as a teammate for sure. John, do you guys remember John Gerskis? He played in he's the assistant coach in Wichita now in the East Coast League. So
Oh, okay.
another day in single A. He's the guy that invented that. So he'd always say like, Smitty, it's another day in single A, partner. And I remember I was just a kid, and watching, knowing it was Johnny's last game in the minors. We lost to Jacksonville in playoffs. And I remember watching like an old grizzled vet like him crying his eyes out at the end of the game. And I remember that was one of the first times I was ever really, really, really emotional. Seeing something like that, it's like seeing like this is the end of a great career, that is never going to go down in Sports Illustrated or Hockey News, but he was somebody that was pretty special to me. Cam Barker was a pretty great teammate. Clark MacArthur. There's so many. There's actually too many guys to name,
So fucking.
Been doing hockey since at least 2003. So, I mean, you definitely have a list.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a pretty cool. I definitely have a pretty extensive list of great players I played with. Some of the coolest experiences are things that don't come from like great players or anything, but just like neat experiences. Like one time a bunch of us rented a van and drove from Huntsville to Atlanta and went to a Tragically Hip concert and ratchet strapped a karaoke machine to the roof of the vehicle and sang the whole way to Atlanta on karaoke.
You're just cruising down the road and you just hear the music blaring. Like, where's that coming from? That's not me. Hmm,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I've had
No.
I when I write my book, the problem with when I write my book is I won't be able to use any names, right? Like I'll have to be like me and this guy I played with.
Right.
I feel like you could
This
come
one
up with a
guy,
good
this
like
one time.
nickname.
Well, and especially with like, and I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to dive into this too deep, but like with this whole Hockey Canada thing and this witch hunt with all these sexual abuse allegations and etc. Like I can't really dive too deep into the things that I witnessed throughout my career in that sense, but there's definitely a lot of interesting things that happened throughout my career for sure.
The so I do got a kind of a two-part question for you. Um, you say there's no animosity between some of the fighters or anything. So with the majority of your fights, would you say that they're all kind of like, hey, bud, want to throw down? Or
Absolutely,
is it,
100%.
and then
Usually,
who's been
know
your,
who you're gonna fight. You know who the other team's tough guy is. You know when the time of the game is right. You give each other a look and you say, "Okay, amigo, you ready?" Yeah, and a lot of times they'll know, and fans might not like to hear this, but a lot of times they'll know, like when things are hurting on you, your buddies will give you give you a little bit of leeway. Like I said with me and Elias, when he knew my shoulder was smashed up, he's not going to take advantage of you being hurt, because who knows down the road if say he's got a broken hand, I'm not going to go tee off on him with my left hand when I know his left's broke. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who's been your three favorite people to fight against through your time?
Three favorite people to fight: Joe Pace, obviously. We had some bloodbaths.
For
Dan
sure.
Amesbury, um, Joe Pace, Dan Amesbury, and there's a guy named Jay Burney back in the old Central League days. He was a big, tough guy, more of an American League guy, and he always gave me the time of day, and always, we always went to war with each other. Do you guys remember Greg Pankowitz? Do you guys remember him?
Mm, the name sounds familiar.
So he was the Colorado Eagles captain in the Central League, and he was making, back in them days, he was probably making $500,000 a year in the Central, like, because there was no salary cap, and I was making one one tenth of a tenth of that, and and we went knee on knee one night, and he gets up and he's like, "Fuck you, kid," and he's 38 years old and I'm 20, and I looked at him and I go, "Thanks, don't get mad because I'm making more than you right now."
No, no. Hmm.
Yeah.
Aaron, do you want to ask some?
So yes, so I've got a kind of double question for you again, hitting you with the doubles tonight. So Anna usually asks this, but it was also asked in the chat. What is your favorite prank that you've ever pulled?
My favorite prank I ever pulled.
Yes.
Oh, you guys. Oh yeah, my favorite prank I ever pulled, or my favorite prank that I ever had pulled on me.
I say
So let's
both.
do both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite prank I ever pulled was last year. We were in we were in Mississippi in Biloxi, and we just beat them 11-0 in their home opener. And it was the night before, it was the next day at pregame skate, and Jerome Bouchard, my coach, bet me $100 that I couldn't hit Joe Pace in the head with a water balloon. So I filled this bucket, but I didn't have any water balloons. So I filled those black surgical gloves that these fuckers could survive like the apocalypse, right? So I filled them full of water, and I knew how to get up in the catwalk while they were at pregame skate. And I started bombing these surgical gloves full of water at Joe Pace, and they weren't even breaking. They were just hitting the ground like bombs, bouncing. So they were really, really pissed off. And then Marvin Powell, who's actually a good kid, starts screaming at me, and like they can't see me because like I'm up the catwalk, and I'm shit scared of heights. So I mean, $100, $100.
Oh God.
So I'm heights, and Marvin Powell's yelling at me, and he's like, "Have some fucking respect. It's our pregame skate." And I was like, "You guys lost 11-0 in your home opener. Respect yourselves."
Yeah.
So it started that bench brawl that night.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so that's the funniest prank I've ever pulled. So the funniest prank that's ever been pulled on me will probably go down to this day as the funniest prank that ever will go down in history. So Cody Rogers and I lived together in Columbus. And Amesy and I had that the history going. So AJ Galante sent like the same Netflix crew to document all the shit with me and Amesy and stuff throughout the week. And I cracked my eye socket in a fight the week before. So when Amesy and I fought, I got my ass kicked. So I was tucked in behind my eye socket like this. So the Monday morning or Sunday night, Cody goes, Schmitty, like I think Beesh is gonna trade me. I don't know. And I'm feeling shitty about myself because I just lost these fights to Amesy. So Monday morning rolls around. It's like 5 a.m. I get up. Cody Rogers' room's packed up, beds made, room's cleared out. Get to the rink. His stall's cleared out. All his shit's gone. And we still have cameras following me around, like documenting everything, like to shoot this documentary on me. And so it was only him and Beesh in on it. And Beesh, Jerome Bouchard's like, "What'd you say to him? What'd you do?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. He was just like a mental midget last night. He was fucked up about something." So we go out for pregame or like for warm up, or like practice, and we're skating around, and we get in the stretching circle, and Jerome goes, "Yeah, I just since obviously Schmitty can't handle the full workload of being a fighter in this league, we had to bring a new tough guy in." And fucking they open the door, and the camera crew put like latex on Cody Rogers' head, gave him full neck sleeve, fake tattoos, a full sleeve, cut his jersey like off. And you know how I kind of skate like a little bit flamboyantly. So hot lap, dives into the middle of the stretching circle with a chew in his mouth, pulls a Bud Light out of his fucking hockey pants and shotguns it, and goes, "Hey, I'm Dustin Mitz, and I'm here to take over Dustin Mitz' job." And like I thought he flipped out and gone, and like
Oh my God.
fucking thing, you guys. It was the funniest thing ever. Like I was laying on my stomach crying.
You know, there's a
Oh
video
my
of it
God.
somewhere, and I'm
There-
gonna see if I can find it.
Trying to find it.
Oh my God, I need to see that video.
It's hilarious. It's good.
You've seen it, Anna, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And it's priceless. Like I'm dying.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I was also asked by a fan in the chat to ask you, I almost forgot after that story. What about the mascot switch, right?
Oh, you know, okay. This one that's actually a funny one too, actually. So last year in Columbus, our mascot was coming into we had a like a team function, and our mascot was coming into this team function, and I said like, hey, can I throw the mascot shit on? Like he was like a big dragon with like a big head and like ears and nose and shit. And I said, can I put it on and like pretend to be the mascot? I was like, yeah, of course. So as a joke, I put the mascot costume on, and I was walking around getting pictures with the mascot and stuff. And I don't know if you guys know Thomas Aldworth, but like quiet, like quietest, most down to earth kid, like doesn't say much. And so I had this big goofy mascot dragon costume on, and Aldworth's at a urinal taking a piss. And I snuck up behind him, and like I had like the big dragon nose, and I like peeked over the edge at him, and I like grabbed his ass and was like looking at him. And he like freaked out and like left, and he went and like sat at a table by himself for like 2 hours and was just like traumatized.
Almost
like-
like one of those, just.
Yeah.
Well, you know, some people don't like it when they get grabbed by too many people.
Fans in Columbus were starting to wonder where I was, why I wasn't at the event. So then I had to switch out. So I saw Aldi, and he's sitting by himself. He's a real quiet kid. And I'm like, Aldi, are you okay? And he's like, I think I was just sexually assaulted by the
I love Aldi. He's such a sweetheart.
And I was like, Aldi, don't worry, that was just me.
Are you sure that made it better?
Well, yeah, it's okay being
No, I'm just playing. You guys, I think the bonds that you guys have as teammates is just so wonderful, and
Mhm.
it's just great.
one time. Another funny prank we pulled. I told all the boys to wear. We got a new guy traded to us, and I told all the boys to wear like swimming trunks in the shower.
You would.
So this kid goes in naked, and our whole team goes in swimming trunks, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Like, you're the weirdo.
Yeah, you're going your dink tufts.
So Justin, you have to promise me you're gonna come back on. I'd love to do like like a part two, because there's just so much awesome stuff that you have to talk about, and unfortunately we're short on time.
Okay.
But promise me you'll definitely come back on, like get me with me, and we can set up a date for that. But
Absolutely.
before we let you go, is there anything you want to say to the fans that are watching?
No, you guys, I just want you guys, I want all the fans to know that to from the bottom of our hearts, we give you guys our everything. So for when the fans do criticize us, which they're allowed to do, know that they're criticizing someone that's giving their best.
Amen, motherfuckers.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to catch you in the next episode, and we will be back with Justin hopefully later in the season.
Okay.
Amen.
Talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much for
you.
your
Thank you.
time.
I hope
I
that
really
went
appreciate it.